All right, happy Monday, guys. Should be starting up live now. We're here to talk about some NBA preseason. We got a 5-game slate. Really excited to talk about this one. We got some news to go over. There's still some question marks, obviously, but super excited to talk about the slate. And so far, it's been a really good preseason for all the viewers. We had someone take down the big 10K tourney last night. So that was great. We had a lot of people win big money, right, with the core of Trae Young, Vucevic, THT, and Kuzma. So let's see if we can keep it rolling here for this 5-game slate. All right, so what we're going to do is let's take a look at what we know so far. So Hornets, we just got news that starters going to play 22 to 25 minutes, up from 20 the last game. Still doesn't do a ton for me with them priced in the mid-range. Like the mid-range guys, I would much rather play Zion at a similar price. Probably prefer some other options. And then spend-ups, like I'm looking to Giannis right now, assuming he gets similar run. Now, we did get news of the Heat starters. Nunn, Hero, Duncan, Harkless, and Bam. They're resting Jimmy, they're resting Dragic, and they're resting Iguodala. So I really like Hero, Nunn, and Bam. But I'm just a little cautious. I'm a little worried that they only play the first half since this is their first preseason game. So I think this is key. This is key to getting the slate right, whether the Heat starters play in the second half or not. If you fade the Heat starters and they play in the second half, you're probably going to lose. If you play the Heat starters and they only play a half, then it's going to be hard to win, right? So this, I think, is the key because Hero, Nunn, and Bam, without Jimmy on the court against the Pelicans that play no defense, they can absolutely crush. So, yeah, this is going to be the key, and we don't have any definitive news. So hopefully you guessed right there. As far as the Suns, we have Chris Paul, questionable, but I think he said he was going to play. Cam Payne, Cam Johnson, Sarge are all out. Jay Crowder is in. Stan Van Gundy said Steven Adams is a game-time decision. I don't think we have news on that yet. This is for the Showdown site. The Pacers starting lineup is already going. That's already going on. Now for the Raptors, Nick Nurse said that everybody is available, but he anticipates managing his rotation similar to Saturday's preseason opener. So that means guys like Fred VanVleet, Siakam are probably not going to play in the second half, which is not great for DFS. So I'm not super excited about Toronto. Really, the only guys I'm looking to are, once again, guys like Boucher, guys like Terrence Davis that can crush in limited time. But even so, like Boucher only played, 14 minutes. Terrence Davis played, I think, 17 or 18. So not a ton I love there for Toronto. Yeah, again, Spolster said no Dragic, no Jimmy, no Iguodala. Again, that was the Cavs starters for the Showdown slate. Chris, okay, we already went over that. And then it was from last night. So, yeah, congrats to Duke for winning the big tourney. Again, he won 12K, entered it twice, and took it down. So congrats on the big win. But yeah, we had winners all around last night. Okay, so that's kind of what we know so far. I'm going to do my best to keep an eye on. Yeah, Cam Payne. I didn't tweet that. Cam Payne is out, but Chris Paul's back, so doesn't do a ton for me. Like maybe Javon Carter's a viable cheap play. I'm going to do my best to keep an eye on news. But if I do miss anything, please let me know, guys, because it's a little tricky to go, kind of give analysis and try to keep an eye on news, kind of try to keep an eye on chat. So keep me honest here. Again, I'll do my best to keep on top of things, but I'll definitely be checking back here, see if we get any other news, and try to look in chat as well. Let's see. I like Boucher, but yeah, no time restrictions suck. Yeah, I mean, again, I like Boucher too, but just didn't play a ton. Definitely still someone I'm interested in. But yeah, we are almost already at 400 concurrent viewers, guys. If you enjoy this content, hit that like button. It helps me out a ton, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We are now over 6,000 subscribers. So let's start with Toronto. And like I kind of just mentioned, Toronto's a team I'm not super excited about right now. I don't think that's going to change for me, obviously, with this game coming up in about 40 minutes. No Kyle Lowry still. Siakam, Fred VanVleet. They only played, let's go to Toronto. Siakam played 20 minutes. Fred VanVleet played 17 minutes. Powell played 20. OG played 18. So the main guys, Baines played 13. I'm not really looking to. Again, the guys I would consider would be guys like the rookie Malachi Flynn, who played 20. Terrence Davis played 17. Boucher played 14. Those are guys that can put up decent fantasy point outings if you need someone cheap. So Boucher would probably be my favorite of the bunch just because he's such a good point per minute guy. What he finished with like mid-20s and fancy points in 14 minutes, almost like 2 fancy points a minute. This guy can put up fancy points a lot in a short amount of time. So definitely still have interest in Boucher, still have interest in Terrence Davis as well, who's going to come out and shoot the ball a ton. Again, aggressive on the offensive end. And then Malachi Flynn as well. Those 3 are viable cheap plays. Am I going out of my way to jam in any of them? No. Again, the guys that I'm going to go out of my way to play are Pelicans, because we got news they're going to play 30-plus minutes. Giannis, assuming he gets 25-plus minutes again. And then, we'll go over some value. But Pelicans are the team on the highest on, kind of like the Lakers yesterday, right? I was hammering down, play at least 2 Lakers. So that's kind of how I feel for the Pelicans. I would say try to get at least 2 Pelicans into your lineup. But the Heat, again, that's the key, right? Do the starters play in the second half? If they do, you're going to want exposure to Miami, who we'll get to in a sec. So Boucher, Davis, Flynn, those are the guys I mentioned in the Toronto side. And Charlotte, I know the minutes are going to go up to 22 to 25, but even so, right, like, I don't think I'm going to prioritize any of these guys. With Hayward, Graham, Rozier, they're fine if you land on them. Like, Bridges is okay. PJ Washington's probably my favorite for his price at 4.8, just because Charlotte is going to use him a little bit more at the 5, which does help him out at center a lot this year. So that does give him a slight boost. If we get 25 minutes out of PJ Washington at 4.8K, and he would probably be my preferred target here on the Charlotte side. LaMelo Ball, he played in their last game. He only played, 16 minutes. He had no points, but 10 rebounds, 4 assists. So I think probably LaMelo and PJ Washington for their prices would be the guys I would look to on the Charlotte side. But yeah, no one I'm super going out of my way to play either. All right, let's talk about New Orleans. So this is the team I'm the highest on at the moment. Again, things could change, but we have news that Van Gundy said he wants to play the starters 30-plus minutes. We don't have the starting lineup yet out, I believe. Again, if I missed that, please let me know. I'll try to keep an eye on this. But I don't think we have the Pelicans starters out. I don't see it yet. So, all right. What I assume for the starters, Adams is questionable, so we'll see. If he does play, he'll start. If not, it's going to be one of probably like Jackson Hayes or Melly. But the guy I feel the best about is Zion. 6.3K is just too cheap for a guy that's going to play 30-plus minutes. He's going to be the chalk, but I think you eat the chalk here. Don't get cute. Play Zion and move on. Now with Ingram and Lonzo, I like them quite a bit too. Like, it's for a lot of these teams, starters are playing like low 20s minutes, or you don't even know if the starter's going to play the second half, right? Kind of with a guy like Luka Doncic, who the Dallas starters did not play in the second half. So when you have starters that like maybe get 15 to 20 minutes on a slate, and then you know the Pelicans are going to play 30-plus minutes, yeah, you're going to want a lot of exposure here. So Ingram, Lonzo, Zion, I like all a lot. For the price, I think Zion's the best, but Lonzo's really probably one of the top plays in the slate. He fills up the stat sheet. Also have interest in Ingram. So yeah, those top 3 guys I really do like. Now Steven Adams, we'll see. Again, we don't have confirmation yet. He's questionable. If he does play, I think you can give a look to Steven Adams. Bucks news is out. Adams, Hayes is okay. Hold on, trying to keep an eye on this. Bucks news. I don't see anything yet for the Bucks. All right, so let's keep talking about Pelicans. Yeah, if Adams plays, I do have some interest in him if he gets like 20-plus minutes. But he's again coming in questionable, so they might limit him a bit. I think Josh Hart starts, and again, if we get 30-plus minutes out of him at 4.9K, small forward is really weak. So I like Josh Hart just because, again, the position, there's not a lot of good plays. And if we get 30-plus minutes out of Josh Hart, I think he looks like a really good option. Now, if he comes off the bench, then I would be a little more hesitant, because if all the starters are going to get 30-plus minutes, that means like no one on the bench is probably going to play more than like 15-ish. So I assume Hart's going to start. Again, I assume it's going to be Ingram, Lonzo, Zion, Hart, and then either Adams or one of those other bigs. The guys off the bench, so NAW, mentioned him in the video, right? He's won us a ton of money last year in the preseason. I don't think he's a must-play. I don't. And the reason being is he's going to come off the bench most likely. So with the starters playing 30-plus minutes, that doesn't leave a ton of minutes left for NAW, right? Probably like 18 at best. So he's a really good point per minute guy. I'm not saying don't play him. Like, I still have him in my lineup. I still like him. but he might be a little bit over-owned. If we own, like, there's a chance, like, maybe we only see 10 minutes. And if we only get, like, 10 minutes at NNW, he's probably not going to get you there. Again, very aggressive offensive player, really good point per minute guy, but again, assuming he comes off the bench, which I think he will, like, there's a chance he only plays maybe 10 to 15 minutes. So don't have to play NAW. With Melly, with Jackson Hayes, right, those guys I would look to if Steven Adams is out. I would probably prefer whoever does start of the bunch. Let's see, Budenholzer said he thinks will be similar from a minutes perspective from last game for the Bucks. That's really good news. Okay, Bucks head coach Booth said tonight plan is to play Stars a decent number of minutes again. He said everyone is available to play. Okay, that's really good news for Bucks. Thank you for putting that in the chat. Yeah, I think you play Giannis on the slate, right? If we get 25 or so minutes out of Giannis Antetokounmpo, like we did last game, you just play him. So I don't know why I'm not seeing that on my little list here, but that's all right. Giannis 25. I think he's a really, really good play. Guys, we are almost at 500 viewers. Hit that like button. Almost 100 likes. Let's try to get to 150 likes before the end of this live stream. Would really, really appreciate that. But okay, back to the Pelicans. So kind of talk about NAW, right? Pump the brakes a little. I'm not saying fade them, but I'm a little bit worried with the minutes just because if the Stars all get 30-plus minutes, there's not a ton left over for him. Now, we have, let's see, who else did I want to mention here? I talked about the bigs. And I do want to mention Kira Lewis Jr. He was selected with a 13th overall pick. He's another guard, so he'll probably come to the bench. Again, I assume probably 15-ish minutes. You can look to him, too. Like, NAW is going to pick up a lot of ownership. If you want a direct pivot, you can look to the rookie, Kira Lewis. But, yeah, that's really my thoughts of the Pelicans. I think you play at least two right now. Clarkson or NAW, that's close. I think Clarkson, just based off of last game, Clarkson played, 22 minutes? So, yeah, I think I go Clarkson there. On the Miami side, so, again, this is key, right? We have no Jimmy, no Dragic, no Iguodala. So, Bam, Hero, Kendrick Nunn, I love if they play into the second half. Now, again, I'm a little bit worried that they don't play since this is they don't play in the second half because this is their first preseason game. They were playing in the NBA Finals 2 months ago. Sure, they're young guys, but I'm a little worried, a little hesitant with Nunn, Hero, and Dragic, right? That's why I think it's key. If we go off their first preseason game last year, the starters did get decent run. 24 for Winslow, 24 for Jimmy, 24 for Myers, 23 for Bam, 24 for Hero, right? So that makes me, I guess, a little bit more comfortable targeting these guys, but still, again, there's no guarantee. We don't have anything definitive. But like I said, like, it's Bam, it's Hero, it's Nunn. I like all three quite a bit if, and that's a big if, they play 25-ish minutes. So like I said, this is key, getting the heat right. Chris Silva, I don't think so. He's a good point per minute guy, but with no real bigs resting, right? If Bam and like Kellyo and Meyer, if they're resting a lot of the bigs, then I have more interest in Chris Silva. But really the interest lies, it's Bam, it's Hero, it's Nunn. I like all three quite a bit, but there's some hesitation. I'm not 100% that they play into the second half. So there's risk reward there. Again, this is key. This is the key to the slate. If you guess right, if you play the Heat and you guess right, they're probably at least one of those guys will absolutely crush. Bench options, like you can give a look to the rookie Precious Achiuwa, but they're pretty deep, like with their bigs. Bam's playing, like I think Kellyo's playing. They have Myers Leonard, they have Chris Silva, they have Harkless who's playing. Like, so I don't know how many minutes he's gonna get. He would probably be the guy off the bench I would take a shot on if I was. Maybe Casey Okapala, but yeah, Miami's an unknown. We don't know what the minutes are going to be. I'll refresh one more time. If you guys get any sort of indication, leave it in the chat. Again, we don't have any confirmation on minutes, which again makes me a little bit worried. So, okay, Pelicans starters. Adams is starting with Ball, Zion, Ingram, and Josh Hart. Kind of what I expected. So let me retweet that. Yeah, again, I like all the starters, and I think you can look to those bench guards like NAW, like the rookie as well. But yeah, looking for news in the Heat. I don't see anything still, so it's an uneasy feeling because I have 2 Heat guys in my lineup right now. Lonzo, no interest. No, I like Lonzo a lot. I like all of them. Shooting guard is dry. Shooting guard is pretty dry. Core, I'll give a core at the end. All right, let's talk about Dallas now. So Dallas, we don't have any confirmation yet on news. Last game, not great, right? No one played more than 16 minutes. That is really, really shitty for the preseason. So the only guy I have interest in is Luka Doncic at 8.9K. I don't even think I would target anyone else. If Luka plays in the second half, I think he is a really, really good spend up. But we don't know that either, right? This is the same situation of Miami, right? It's a little bit unknown at the moment. Now, I looked at Dallas preseason game last year, their second preseason game. The first preseason game, they kind of played it like the first preseason game this year. Like, no one played a ton of minutes. Now, in the second preseason game, you saw Luka get 28 minutes. Now, again, there's no guarantee he's going to get that again, but I do feel a little bit more comfortable targeting Luka based off what we saw in the second preseason game last year. Javon Carter's a great sneaky play. Yeah, I think Carter is someone you can look to for value. When it comes to NW and Hart, even if they come off the bench, I still like them a lot. And I think I agree with that. Verified Pelicans writer just tweeted his starting lineup. Yep, we just went over. We got the starting lineup for the Pelicans. So it's really Luka for me, and that's it for Dallas. On the Milwaukee side, don't get cute. Play Giannis at 9K. I know, like 9K is maybe for the preseason expensive. It doesn't matter. Do not fade Giannis Antetokounmpo. Play him. If he's going to get more than 25 minutes, I mean, just again, you play him, you move on. With Middleton and Drew, they're contrarian options. I just rather would get to Giannis. So it's Giannis for me at the top. Play Giannis tonight. Do not fade Giannis. Bobby Portis at 5K, I still really like. We got him at super low ownership. Won some tournaments as well that night. We got him at like 10%. We're not going to get him as low of ownership, but as I said in the last video, right? They're pretty thin up front. They have Brook, they have Giannis starting, but behind that, not a lot of depth. So I expect similar minutes for Bobby. He played 20 last game. I expect anywhere from 18 to 22. I think is a fair guess. He had a double-double in that time. A very aggressive player on the offensive end. So I do still like Bobby Portis here at 5K. Again, he's a similar player to Chris Boucher. They're going to put up fancy points in a lot in a short amount of time. So it's Giannis, it's Bobby Portis for me, and that's really it on Milwaukee. Boban, I don't think he plays more than like 10 minutes. Boban can get you 20 fancy points in 10 minutes. Not saying it's out of play. Boucher or Portis, that one's basically a coin flip for me. I think at the moment I slightly give the edge to Portis just because he played 20 minutes where Boucher played 14 in that last game. But yeah, it's really close there. Wow, we're at 173 likes with 550 concurrent viewers, guys. That is insane. Thank you guys for coming to check out this, or for supporting this stream. I really, really do appreciate it. Let's talk about Memphis now. So if we go over their minutes last game, it was actually pretty solid for Memphis. Ja Morant, 25 minutes. JV, 22. A couple of the bench guys, into the 20s. So with Ja Morant at 8.8K, I like him. He went off last game, but I cannot recommend playing him over Giannis if they're going to play similar minutes. Now, give me one sec. If we get news that, the Memphis Starters are going to play 30-plus minutes, kind of like the Pelicans, then, you can make the argument to play Ja over Giannis. If we get 30, then you have to make the, comparison. Do you like 32 minutes out of Ja Morant better than 25 minutes out of Giannis? And I think that's actually would be close. But again, you need these Grizzlies starters to play over 30 minutes for me to play Ja over Giannis. So right now, just a contrarian play. JV, the same thing at 8-1. I'm just going to prioritize Giannis. I'm going to prioritize Luka if he plays in the second half. And then those Pelicans guys. So Jonas Valanciunas, 8.1K. I think same like Ja. Like the upside, the offense runs through those two guys. No Triple J, no Winslow. I don't think Brandon Clark is playing either. We don't have confirmation on that yet, I don't believe. But yeah, offense runs through those two guys, but it's hard for me to prioritize them at their respective prices when you have Giannis at a similar price, when you have Luka at a similar price with no Porzingis. The other options in the team, there's not a ton I like. You can give a look to Melton off the bench at 4.9. A high usage guy. I think he goes pretty low owned. He's point guard and shooting guard eligible. Shooting guard is pretty thin, so I don't mind Melton. Don't even hate Tyus Jones either at 4.8, right? Those are two guys that will get decent run off the bench. We look at their minutes last game. Tyus Jones played 19, and DeAnthony Melton played 20. So I think they're fine plays. Below that, last guy I'll mention, I actually think he's okay for value, that being Gorgie Jang, 4.2K. He's a good point per minute guy. And based off what we saw last game, 16 minutes, I think that's a viable punt play. It's a revenge game narrative too, if you guys are into that. But yeah, I think you can give a look. If you really need someone cheap, I don't hate Gorgie Jang there at 4.2K. Let's move on to Minnesota. So Minnesota in their first preseason game, starters, low 20s minutes. Cat played 21, D'Lo 23, Beasley 23 as well. So, with Cat and D'Lo, this is basically my same breakdown of the Memphis guys. I like them. The offense runs through them. But am I going to play them over Giannis, over Luka? Probably not. Now, again, if we get news that they're going to play 30-plus minutes, again, then you can make the argument to play either, these Memphis guys or Minnesota guys over guys like Giannis and Luka if they only play 25 minutes. But, yeah, will we get that news? Most likely not. So, at the moment, they're just constrained spend ups for me. Rubio, I'm not really looking to that price. Beasley at 5.3 is in play. He missed a lot of the year last year, but he's a higher usage guy. He played 23 minutes. He had 12, 5, and 3. Again, shooting guard's pretty thin, so you can play Beasley. You can play the rookie Anthony Edwards at 4.9. He had a bad shooting day. He finished with 5 points, 4 boards, 1 assist in 26 minutes. So he got the most minutes. Again, he's small forward eligible. Small forward is pretty weak, so I think you can play Edwards. I think the ownership will be pretty low based off that he did not play well last game. But again, he's a guy that is talented. So he was picked number 1 overall. I think you can give a look to him at that price. And below that, there's really not a lot I like. So that wraps up for Minnesota, Memphis. Let's talk about Phoenix and Utah, and then we'll get to some questions, guys. So Phoenix. Let's take a look at their game. Or their first preseason game. So starters, the main guys like Booker, Ayton, got decent run. Ayton 22, Booker 24. We do have Chris Paul most likely playing, I think. Cam Johnson's out. So if you look at the prices, Booker at 8.7, this is, again, the same thing I'll say about Memphis guys, the same thing I'll say about Minnesota guys. I can't prioritize Booker over Giannis and Luka. When they're at the same price, I just can't do it if we get similar minutes for everyone. So at the moment, same thing. Booker, like him, but I think he's more of a contrarian play. And it is, again, not really the best matchup either. If you look at the matchup, Utah is a pretty good defensive team. They play slow. Chris Paul at 8K, I'm not going to get to either. Again, he said he plans to play, but he could be someone that maybe gets limited a bit due to him being a veteran. Ayton at 7.2 is viable, but same thing. I would rather get to the Pelicans. I would rather play Zion for cheaper. I'd rather play Ingram for cheaper if they're going to play 30-plus minutes. I would rather play the Miami guys, if they get in the second half. That's the big question. Campaign is out for this one. So do not play Campaign. I think you can give a look to a guy like Javon Carter off the bench. They signed him to a 3-year deal. He's a good offensive player. He's 4.2K. Shooting guard is pretty thin. So Carter would be, honestly, probably my favorite Phoenix Sun at the moment, just because the price and the fact that shooting guard is weak. And, he got good run. He played 31 minutes last game, and there's no Campaign. So I expect probably high 20s in minutes for Javon Carter, 4.2K. I do like him a good amount here for value. Lastly, Utah. So Utah at the moment is a team I do not have a ton of interest. Again, things could change, but their first preseason game, the main guys, 17, 17, 17, 14 minutes. So, yeah, that's not great. Clarkson off the bench at the moment is my favorite play. He played 22 minutes. Again, he's a high-usage guy. So right now it's only Clarkson. And again, shooting guard eligible, so you can play him at shooting guard if you want to. It's Clarkson for me, and that's it. Would I play anyone off the bench? I think you could look to a Udoka Azubuike, the rookie, but he did not play a ton. He's a good shot blocker. He only played 13 minutes. So, yeah, he's 4-2, though. Again, you could play him, but I don't feel like super excited about it. And that's really it for the player-by-player breakdown, guys. I'll ask one more time if you enjoyed the content to hit that like button. Let's see if we can get to 250 likes. We're at 230. Crazy. Almost 600 concurrent viewers. That is insane, guys. Real Jake Anderson, remember when Ayton missed his COVID test with a $5 super chat? Thank you for the support, man. And yeah, that was insane in the bubble, right? Because we got that news like right before lock, and then we were like, oh, we got to pivot to, I think it was Saric. But then there was news right after lock that like, oh, Ayton's test, like, he's good, and he's like on the way to the stadium, and everyone's just like, what? Like, what is going on? That was crazy. All right. Let's see if I miss any starting news, and then we'll give what I think you should use as a core for tonight for the preseason. So let's see. Again, if I miss any news, guys, for beat writers, please let me know. Memphis Starters. Okay. So we got Ja, Melton starting, Brooks, Kyle Anderson, Valanciunas. Nothing really on the minutes, but that's what we got. Let's see. Changing up the shooting guard spot. Okay. So, yeah, Melton playing with the starters honestly doesn't do a ton for me. I probably prefer him playing with the bench unit, to be honest, just because, again, higher usage guy off the bench. All right, I think that's it. Again, keep me honest, guys. If I miss anything, let me know. Happy to see you killing it, DK. Appreciate that, man. Thank you. Okay, so core. This is what I would do. First, don't get cute, right? Play Zion. 6.3K, 30-plus minutes. You play him. Who else do I include? Again, don't get cute. Giannis Antetokounmpo. That's just, if he's going to play 25 or more minutes, just play him. So those two as like the spend-ups. And then I think, let's see. What else do I want to give? Well, this is tricky because, again, the key to the slate is Miami. Do they play in the second half? I'm not fully convinced. If they do, again, you're going to want some Miami exposure. So the guys I like, again, Nunn, Hero, and Bam. So make a tough call there. I'm going with the Sun. I'm hoping they play in the second half. So I like Nunn. I like Hero. If they get their minutes, right? There's no Jimmy Butler, so the offense is going to run through those guys. I'm going to go with that. But if you are not confident, or you are, again, it's not set in stone that they're going to play in the second half. And again, I'm a little bit worried that they only play the first half. If you don't want to take that risk and you don't want to play Nunn and Hero, I get it. We'll take them out. Then I would probably go to the other Pelicans guys. So again, I would try to get at least two, whether that be Lonzo, whether that be Hart, whether that be Ingram. Probably try to get at least a couple of those guys. So that's my core for tonight. Again, I'm playing the Miami guys, hoping that they get run in the second half, but I'm a little bit worried that they don't. So hope that helps for tonight, guys. And let's get to some questions. We got 15 minutes until lock. How many Pelicans are you playing? I think I have 3 right now. Take into consideration Miami are only playing one more game after today. I did not know that. Thank you. That is a good call. Thank you, DFS Whispers. Guys, if you want more NBA preseason content, they are also making videos every single day. They make great content, so check them out. Thank you. That is actually, I didn't think about that. They're only playing one more game, so that actually makes me a little bit more confident with Miami playing their starters in the second half. So, again, it's Nunn, it's Hero, it's Bam for me. Nunn or Clarkson, I like the upside a bit more on Nunn, assuming he gets those minutes. Butler's out. Yes, Butler's out. I'll take Nunn for the discount. Favorite play, 4,900 or under. 4,900 or under. I think it's going to be Josh Hart, but let me take a look. Josh Hart, again, just because of the minutes. He will be a lower usage guy playing alongside Zion, playing alongside Ingram, Alonzo. Like, He's not going to demand a ton of usage, but it's just a minutes thing with Hart. That's why I think he's probably the guy you look to. Other options, Terrence Davis at a similar price. Definitely viable. And then I think PJ Washington's okay. He's probably my favorite Charlotte guy just because they want to run him more at the 5. And if we get 25 minutes out of him, I think PJ Washington's someone you can look to. So those are probably the guys I would give a look to. If you want to go all the way down, right, we went over some really cheap guys like Javon Carter, like a possibly Gorgie Jang if you want to get different. Not a question. Just want to let you know you're the GOAT. Appreciate that, man. Thank you. Paulie B, are you playing Boucher? I'm playing Portis, but that's, again, the reason I'm going Portis is just because Portis played more than Boucher last game, and they're very similar players. So that one's basically coin flip. I'm going Portis for the reason of he played 20 versus Boucher played 14. Now, sure, Boucher was in foul trouble, maybe lost a couple of minutes, so that's a really, really tough one. Hero or Robinson? Hero for me. Gotta like Gorgie Jang, right? If we get like 15 minutes, I think he's a solid value. NAW, Edwards, Washington, Terrence Davis for utility. Out of those 4 guys, I think the safest is probably Washington. I feel the best about his minutes just because we got the confirmation that they're going to play 22 to 25 minutes. With Terrence Davis, what he played 17. With NAW, again, in question, right? He's going to come off the bench. So I would say probably around 15 minutes for NAW. Edwards probably gets like mid-20s minutes, but I think Washington's the guy you can feel the most comfortable with. Who are your favorite Pelicans? Zion. The top 3, Zion, Lonzo, and Ingram. I do like Adams, but I'm a little bit worried they limit his minutes. So, like, Adams is a guy that if I knew Steven Adams was going to play 28 minutes, I would play Steven Adams. But just with him being questionable, I'm not sure they're going to push it with him. And then, again, it's NAW. It's a rookie off the bench that I would look to if you want someone cheap. Rank Lonzo, Zion, and Brandon Ingram. I would go Zion 1, then Lonzo 2, then Ingram 3. Carter, Hero, Ingram, Greek Freak, Portis, Ball, Boucher, Zion. I hope Paul doesn't affect Carter and Hero gets run. I like it. Yep. Well, with Chris Paul coming back, right, so Campaign, this is what I think is going to happen, right? So Campaign played, let's go to the Suns. Campaign played 30 minutes. So those minutes have to go somewhere. I think Chris Paul eats up a good amount, probably not all of them. And Javon Carter played 31. So I think Carter will hover around that same range. I would say high 20s at least. Does he go live? Yep, I'll be live until lock. Thoughts on Kelly O? He's a veteran, so I don't know how many minutes he plays. I would just rather play the younger guys like Hero, Nunn, and Bam. Towns or Morant? Ja will probably, even though both will be low, and I think Ja will be a little bit more popular, give me Towns there. Do you like Fred VanVleet? I do not. Starters only going to play the first half. Let's see. Sorry, questions are going fast here, guys. 4 Pelicans fine. Yep, you can do that. My line, Lonzo, Hero, Ingram, Giannis, Boucher, Carter, Zion, Portis. I like that. Clarkson or Davis? Oh, Clarkson or Terrence Davis? That one's really close. I'll go Clarkson because I think he plays a little bit more minutes. Yes, guys, if you want sub, free content helps out. They deleted 3K subs. Yeah. DFS Whispers, again, their page got deleted, guys, so check them out, support them. They put out good content. Carter or NAW? NAW is the higher usage guy, but I'm more confident with Carter's minutes. So that one's close. I think the safe option is Carter just because, again, I think we probably get high 20s minutes, whereas NAW, I would say around 15-ish. Thoughts on Conchar for Memphis? I didn't talk about him. He played, I think he's at the min price, right? I did look at him. He's min price. He played 21 minutes. He had 8, 7, and 2. You can play him. I guess he would probably be my favorite min price guy. DiVincenzo going to do anything? I probably wouldn't do it with playing alongside high usage guys like Giannis, Drew, and Middleton. Should I play NAW or Clarkson? I already have 2 New Orleans guys. I think Clarkson, just because I'm a little bit more comfortable with his minutes. Gorgie or Boucher? Definitely Boucher there. How does this look? Nunn, Clarkson, Ingram, Giannis, PJ Washington, Lonzo. I like that. Any OG or OG or Lonzo? Lonzo. Almost 600 watching. Let's go, DK. Yeah, we are almost 600 concurrent viewers. We are at 261 likes, guys. That is insane. Thank you. Edwards, Clarkson, or Malik Beasley, Carter. That one's also close. I think the second one's safer just because Edwards, the rookie, right, still a little bit unknown with his talent level in the NBA. So I'll go Beasley, Carter. Should I move Eric Bledsoe? Eric Bledsoe's not playing tonight. 4,200 and under best play. I think it's Javon Carter for me. It's either Carter or Jang at 4-2. I think those are the two guys I mentioned. Jang's at 4-2. I expect probably 15 minutes. Carter, I think we get high 20s minutes. So, yeah, Carter or Jang. I think Carter is probably the safest option just off what we saw last game. Best center play? Zion's a center, so I would say Zion. Giannis is also a center. So, Zion, Giannis, Portis, Boucher, Van Fleet, or Middleton, because he's going to play more minutes. Fave 5,300 or under guard. 5,300 or under, let's see. I think that's a tricky price range. 5,300 or under. I'm going to go Beasley. But you Beasley Ball. Oh, no. Actually, I'm going to go Nunn. I'm going to go Kendrick Nunn at 5-1. He's a high usage guy when a couple pieces are missing, and they're missing Jimmy, they're missing Dragic. So I'm going to go Kendrick Nunn. But there is some risk, right? A little risk. Like I would say probably 80-20 that they play in the second half, but there's still that slight doubt that I'm a little bit worried about. You think I should trade Bledsoe? Like for season long, do you mean? Do you trade Bledsoe? Yeah, I mean, it depends on where you draft. Where you draft him? Do you plan on playing Luka tonight? If he plays in the second half, yes, I want to play Luka. Now, will we get that confirmation? I don't know. So kind of the same situation with Heat, right? I'm a little bit weary, but if we go off the last game for the Mavs, they did play in the second half. The second preseason game last year, Luka played 28 minutes. Clarkson or Ball. How many minutes CP3 plays? I would say around 20 probably is a fair guess. Are you playing Nunn and Hero? I am. The core that I gave you with Nunn and Hero, that's what I'm doing. Nunn, Hero, Zion, Giannis. Again, I'm hoping Miami plays in the second half. Do you like Lonzo Clarkson? Lonzo Clarkson, Ingram, Zion, Portis, Nunn, Giannis, and PJ Washington? Yes. Clarkson from Utah or Terrence Davis? Clarkson just because I feel a little more comfortable with his minutes. Core, we went over it. Core is Giannis, it's Zion, and that's the two Miami guards with Hero and Nunn. And again, that's assuming they play in the second half. Hart or Boucher? That's tough because Hart's going to play probably around 30 minutes. Boucher, I would say around 15. Boucher's clearly the better point per minute guy. Straight up, give me Hart, but that is close. Anybody playing Luka? Again, I do like Luka. Nunn and Hart or Boucher and Portis? That's a tough one too. Because Boucher and Portis are just, I love playing them. They're such high usage guys. But I'm going to go Nunn and Hart. I feel a little bit more comfortable with their minutes. Ayton or Lonzo for their prices. It is close, but I'm going to go Lonzo. Nunn is my favorite player in Miami. Again, I agree. I do like Nunn a lot. Lonzo Ball or Morant? That's a good question. Well, for his price, I'm going to take Lonzo because Lonzo's just cheaper. Right? If it's straight up, give me John Morant. Because I think 25-ish minutes out of John Morant is better than 32 minutes out of Lonzo Ball. But Lonzo's 6'9", Morant's 8'8", right? So if price doesn't matter, for sure, give me John Morant. Are there any plays for 41? No, I don't think I would. Again, I think Tenchar is min-price, but I'm not super confident with that. Boucher or PJ? I think PJ for safety. But, if Boucher plays a couple more minutes, again, he's such a good point per minute guy. So that's another close one for me. How does Nunn, Hero, Ball, Ingram, Zion, Hart, Giannis, and Carter sound? I think that sounds really good. Are there any plays for 4,100 or under? Again, not really. Doncic or Booker? Doncic if he plays in the second half. Portis over Cat? No. You play Cat over Portis if you can, if price doesn't matter. Doncic, Booker, again, Doncic. Hero or Hart? Hero straight up. How does this look, DK? Ja, Hero, Hart, Zion, Giannis, Nunn, Edwards, and Portis. I don't have an issue. Luka or Morant? Straight up, it's Luka, assuming they play similar minutes. Now, again, things can change, right? you guys got to be willing to make changes. Got to keep an eye on news. Let me refresh this, see if we got any more news for these games. But yeah, if we get news that Ja's going to play like 30 plus minutes, then you probably want to look there. Or then you got to make a tough call. Oh, this is for NFL. Luke Wilson inactive. Okay, so guys, if you're interested in NFL content, Showdown Slate coming up soon. I'll be live for that as well. So if you guys want, inactives, Marvin Hall is also inactive. Okay, so I feel a little bit better about Donovan Peoples-Jones, the Michigan product for tonight then. But yeah, if you guys want NFL content or interested in NFL content, again, I'll be live in 6:45, so about 45 minutes. I'll take a quick break and then I'll be live again. I don't see any more news here. But yeah, if I did miss something, let me know. Any prize picks plays? Yeah, let me go prize picks really quick. Sorry if I don't get to you guys' questions, or I'm trying to get to everyone's, but they are coming fast. I think I like the under on Fred VanVleet, 24.5. If he only plays like 15 minutes, I like the under there. Bam at 24.5. Like if he plays in the second half, he will hit that over. So yeah, kind of like that. Luka's at 28.5. I'm guessing he plays in the second half too. So kind of like the over there. So I'd say over on Luka, over on Bam, under on Fred VanVleet. Porter or Beasley? I'm gonna go to utility. Porter. You mean Portis? Which Porter? Melton or Terrence Davis? Yeah, that's close. I think I go Terrence Davis there because he's playing with second unit guys where Melton's playing with the starters. How does this look? Nunn, Carter, Ingram, Giannis, Zion, Ja, PJ, and Kira Lewis. Yeah, so Kira Lewis, that's where you're getting different, right? The rookie there for the Pelicans. I think that's fine. Is Ayton viable? He doubled last game versus Utah. Yes. DeAndre Ayton is viable if you can get to him. Carter or Frank Mason? Carter. Frank Mason is no longer on the Bucks. Huge edge for the people if Heat starters don't play second half. Again, I'm a little bit concerned about it. A little bit. Edwards or Hart. I think Frank Mason isn't on the team. Yeah, Frank Mason's not on the team. Melton or Davis. Again, that's close. I'll go Davis. I think playing with the second unit, I think I like that slightly better. I like the under in 23 Butler. It's a lock. Oh, that's definitely a lock. Guard under 4,200. Javon Carter at 4,200 flat. Portis, thanks DK. Oh, with Portis or who was it? I think it was Beasley, right? Portis or Beasley? Portis. Carter or Mason? Yeah, Carter. I meant Bobby Portis. Yeah, Bobby Portis or Beasley. I'll go Bobby Portis. Matt Thomas, sleeper play. Is a sleeper. I think he played the most out of anyone in Toronto. Mason, free agent. Yeah, Middleton. I'd rather play Giannis. Middleton's a contrarian play. You can play him. You'll be different. But for me, it's Giannis. It's Giannis, Luka, and the Pelicans guys. Malik Monk, not for me. They're going to limit him. Washington or Edwards? Washington. Favorite small forward under 4,500 DK cash. I wouldn't play anyone under 4,500. 4,900 Josh Hart's the cheapest I'll go at small forward. I looked at that. Yeah, there's no one I would play under that price for cash. Oni, no thank you. Frank Mason, can you play 4 Pelicans? Yes, you can. I think the sweet spot is probably 2 to 3, but you can play 4. I legit got over half my lineup in Heat Pelicans game. I like that. I mean, I have a lot of exposure to that game as well. Good luck, DK. Thanks again, of course. Malik Monk, no thank you. Silva, no. I don't think he plays a ton. He is a high usage guy, but none of the bigs are resting. Took a risk with Ayton over Ball. I don't hate that. Like DeAndre Ayton's a high usage guy. If we get 25 plus minutes, I think that's solid. I think the ownership will be a lot higher in Lonzo Ball. Yeah, how many players? I have 5 players in the Miami New Orleans game. I have Nunn, Hero, Hart, Zion, and NAW. So Carter or Jang, I think straight up it's Carter just because the minutes, but those are the 2 like really cheap guys I would consider. What time are you doing Monday Night Football live? I will be live. I think 6:45 Central, so 7:45 Eastern. I believe a slate lock 7. Yeah, so 6:45 Central or 7:45 Eastern. I'll be live. Lock. Graham, no thank you on Graham. Just prefer other places, some prices. But all right, let's go over some ownership. I'll go over ownership in the Slam. That's the $222 tournament. And then I'll get out of here, take a quick break, and I'll be live again for Monday Night Football. I'm playing Ayton also. Yeah, I kind of like Ayton as a contrarian play. Thanks, DK. See you in like 30 minutes. See you soon. Jackson Hayes, with Steven Adams playing, not as excited about it. We have the same lineup. I want Carter, LOL. Okay. None, 4%, LOL. Is he really 4% only? Wow. That's pretty low. Unless we miss news of Miami starters. I like that. Okay, so this is in the slam. Kendrick Nunn, 24% owned. Tyler Hero, 18%. Josh Hart, 35%. Zion, 87%. NAW, 47% owned in the slam. I did not expect that. I think a lot of people from playing in the slam are watching my video. But yeah, that's a little high for NAW. I'm not going to lie. I still did play him because I love playing NAW. But again, a little worried with his minutes. If he only plays like there's a chance he might only play 10 minutes. Let's see. Lonzo Ball coming in at 38%. Brandon Ingram, 56%. So, yeah, people in the slam are playing the Pelicans. I think that's smart. Chris Silva, 23%. Did I miss something with Chris Silva? Like, are they resting starters for Miami? He's 23% owned. Like, I know he's a good point per minute guy, but yeah, over 20. Yo, I don't know if did I miss something there? Bam's playing. Like they said, what? I think Kelly O and Myers Leonard are playing. They have Precious Achiuwa. That one confuses me a little bit. Now, yeah, sure. If I knew Chris Silva was going to play big minutes, I would like him. But I kind of don't get that. Again, I could have. I'm human. I could have missed something there, but I'm just trying to see if I missed like any news about them wanting to give Chris Silva minutes. Yeah, that one, Bam like 9%, makes no sense at all. Willie Henry Gomez 2%. People don't know. I have no idea why. Okay, yeah, that I don't know. Like I said, like Chris Silva is a good point per minute guy. He is, but does he even play in this game? I don't know. Like the only guys out right are Jimmy, Dragic, and Iguodala. Those are like guards / small forward. They're pretty healthy in the front court. They have Harkless, Myers Leonard, Bam, Kelly O, the rookie Precious Achiuwa. They're going to want to give minutes to. So like all those guys, I think play over. I don't know. I guess that's where I'm a little bit confused. There's any people going to regret not going Hero. Yeah, the ownership is somewhat low on these Heat guys. So I'm praying, like, please, DFS gods, please play the normal Miami guys in the second half because, let's see, there's any people are going to not regret playing Hero. DK Austin Hooper is active tonight. Is he active? I thought he was inactive. If he's active, then I don't have a ton of interest in Njoku. Where are you checking this ownership? I'm just looking in the tournament itself, and I'm scrolling through other people's lineups. So, I guess I'm hoping for Chris Silva not to play. Again, that does surprise me. Let's see. Let me see some. Okay. So I'm looking at guys that are like good competition that I know are really smart guys. And, well, he does have one Chris Silva lineup in there. But yeah, he has a lot of exposure to this Miami New Orleans game as well. Precious Achiuwa's at 7%. Let's scroll through some other lineups, see if I see any other ownership. Bridges 2%, Boucher at 7%. Yeah, the reason I played Portis over Boucher is just a minutes thing. That was really, really close for me. Matt Thomas picked up 2% ownership. Hooper inactive. Yeah, I thought he was inactive. I thought I saw that. Yeah, there's people playing Chris Silva. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little bit confused about that. Bam's only 2%. That's like Bam can crush if he plays 25 plus minutes against the Pelicans. Like Bam at that is really good ownership. I wanted to prioritize Giannis. I wanted to prioritize Luka, assuming Luka plays, but Hero 15%, no way. Again, I like the ownership on the Miami guys. Let's pray they play in the second half. Thanks, DK. Let's kill it. I'm glad to be back. I'll text you later if I can't wait. Hey, appreciate that, man. Thank you. See you in the NFL stream in a bit. Time to watch New Orleans versus Miami game. Yep, I'm going to try to watch a little bit of that before I go live for NFL. But I'm going to get out here. Again, crazy, guys. We hit, I think, almost 600 concurrent viewers. So really, really do appreciate all the support. I will keep you guys updated on Twitter when we get more news. And again, I'll be live from Monday Night Football in about 30 minutes. So NAW just not a secret anymore. I guess not. DK, I think with the Bills, it leads down to Silva putting their lineup. Okay, yeah, I could see that, right? If they're just trying to jam in a lot of the studs, I could see that. That does, I guess, make some sense. But again, I'm not fully convinced he plays, so we'll see. But good luck tonight. Hope you guys all have a great night. Again, I'll be live back here in about 30 minutes if you're interested in NFL content. So thanks again.